Dragon's Dogma 2 has the greatest character creator player settings ever in history of gaming. That seems to be the case, with people talking about it online and on social media, praising for its options and variety of different body types, looks, and styles, even the ability to create characters that look exactly like real life Hollywood actors or wildly popular fantasy characters. As you can see here, you can create many characters from anime, other video game properties, and of course movies. And you can see the list right here. You have Geralt from The Witcher, you have Berserker, you have Avatar characters, you have Leon Kennedy, you have Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, you have Scooby-Doo characters, you have Walter White, you have handsome Squidward. So much characters, Baldur's Gate 3 characters. You can even create a Michael Jackson looking type of character. And I think this variety makes it clear that this is a game that is catering to everybody. And I have to ask this question: do you think this is the middle ground of character design when it comes to fantasy games? Because I'm talking about the middle ground between people that are praising aesthetic beauty and the other ones that want more realistic, grounded, or uglified looks. And we see that dichotomy in gaming with multiple platforms and video game properties taking stances, whether it's Stellar Blade upholding the aesthetic beauty side of things like Nier Automata as well, or you have it on the opposite end with Horizon Zero Dawn, Fable, that are trying to stick to an uglified aesthetic that is kind of pushing away the overall male gaze that is usually attractive to the fan base. And I think this is a middle ground where you can create anything you want. You can have the super uglified monstrosities that some people are attracted to, or you can have the ultra beautiful aesthetic look. And I think this is the middle ground Dragon's Dogma is taking right here, and I think it's very effective. People are still going to have their complaints about this game. I think for the most part it does a good job of presenting everyone an option of choosing a design that is catered to themselves, and I think you can see that with so many options displayed. There's every opportunity for you to create the character you want to be in love to look at it, and I think that is the best avenue to go if you are a game designer or developer. You don't need to stick to these super uglified looks and stay rigid to those appearances. You can give the opportunity for the player to create the character they want to create that may look similar to maybe some other video game characters or other popular characters in social media and just entertainment. Just looking at some of these beautiful character designs, you know you're allowed to create and reach the limits of some of these character portraits that you have in mind. This is not something that is restricting your ability to create beautiful and attractive characters, and I think that's the thing people are looking forward to in this game. Even if you want to create the super ugly character, you have the options there for it too. And you see these people online that usually attack each other for their preference of the overall looks of their lead character. Now they're coming together praising this for its ability to provide everyone an avenue for seeing themselves or any other beautified versions of themselves in the game. And I think that is the key thing that we're seeing now. You can even see Pikachu in the game apparently, and I think that is the thing people are praising. Of course, you can make other characters from other video games in this game, and I think that's another thing. And I don't know if I have the ability or skill to do that, but I'm going to try it out. Another thing people have been praising it for, besides the beauty of the characters that are allowed to do and the ugliness of the characters as well, people are also praising the overall looks of the different races of people. It really has impressive looks for African American characters. I remember Mass Effect when I tried to create a black character. There's only one type of black character you create, so it's nice to see these options where you can have these realistic creations of black and African people as well. And I think that also extends to Asians and Spanish people as well. So it really is everything character creation setting. You can even create Timothy Chalamet, so everyone is able to be created in this character generator, and I'm looking forward to it. Of course, people are going to delve into this and say this is more woke propaganda stuff, because if you do look at the body types and the overall gender selection, there's no gender selection. There's only body types, and I think this goes back to that social progressive stances that we see coming from Capcom, that has a very focused DEI department. They have major investments from BlackRock and Vanguard that push ESG, social progressive politics, into the companies that they invest in. So they are catering to that market, no doubt. But I think if you look at the character preset list, it's not something that is molded to only follow that pattern. You can create very beautiful body types, women or men, and I think that's the main thing that I'm saying that is happening with Dragon's Dogma 2. It gives you options to create what you want, and I think this is the middle ground between the people that want aesthetic beauty and other people that are insecure of anything that's beautiful and want to stay with more uglified and de-beautified looks. And I think that is okay if that's the thing you want to do, and I think that is something that is being catered to in this game, where you can shape the character any way you want until you get a very slender, beautiful woman, or you can get this bulky, mannish, almost masculine type of shape woman that you want, which makes sense if you are in a fantasy world fighting dragons and monsters. So you can do what you want with these characters, and I think those options are the key thing that people are missing and wanting in video games in general. No one wants to take away anyone that wants to be a super uglified troll or anything like that, but people want the option of making a very beautiful woman or man or anything else like that, and I think that's an option people are willing to hold on to. And I think this is Dragon's Dogma 2 placating to both fan bases and finding the middle ground for everyone to enjoy the game, and I think only a few games are able to do that. I think Baldur's Gate 3 was able to do that to a larger extent, so this is one of those games too that is taking that direction and finding that middle ground between the regular fan base and the obscure and obsessive fan base that have their own proclivities for things that are different. And I think that is what we're seeing with Dragon's Dogma 2 and its overall player creator presets or own character settings, and I think that's what we see here, and I love it for what it's doing. I think this is a step in the right direction, even though I think Capcom itself is always a step in the wrong direction with its overall company dynamics itself, where it was banning mods when it comes to relation to all of its games. So that's the thing where I'm still in disagreement with Capcom. I still don't trust Capcom, but I think I trust the developers that created this game. Of course, they may have oversight from Capcom and they have to follow certain instructions, but I think they did a good job so far from what I'm seeing from the character settings. I think they made something that is playable for everyone, that is not neglecting everyone or any one particular group. It's making things accessible, and that's what you're supposed to do with video games. It's giving creativity and freedom to the gamer. I think that's what video games are supposed to do when it comes to the overall character models and settings, and I like that they gave this option out for everyone. You just look at some of the character models they have. You can create ridiculous versions of different Pokemons and stuff like that. I saw someone create a Pikachu. You can even change the overall gait and walk of the character, so you can have almost total control over the entire look and feel and aura of the character. And I think the most impressive one is the Michael Jackson one, where it really looks like Michael Jackson. I don't know how these people get these dynamics down correctly so well, but it is the most creative and most in-depth character creator settings I've ever seen, and I've never seen anything able to do something like this in video games. But I think I'm definitely going to have the Michael Jackson character. I'm going to try to make one that's my favorite artist, so I'm looking forward to this game. I think it's a buy for me so far. I don't think there's anything too social, progressive, and political in it so far. I know the body type thing without having the genders there, I think that is my only gripe with it, but I'm willing to let it go if it allows you to create any type of character look that you want, and hopefully they don't have anything else in there. Of course, this is Capcom. They might have something else in there, but I'm a fan of Dragon's Dogma, so I'm looking forward to actually play this game, and I think this is a nice middle ground to have. Hopefully they don't do anything else to I guess ruin the game, but you have to be careful with these game developers nowadays. They do take great care in ruining franchises, and I think we just saw that with multiple franchises from the past that have come out that have ruined their names, like Horizon Zero Dawn, like Saints Row. So you have to take care to know that they may ruin these franchises that we kind of beloved right now as well. It seems like it's still stuck to what it does best, just creating a masterpiece of a game. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not anticipating anything too crazy, but I love the character creator, the settings and the designs. You're allowed to create any type of character you want, and that is the type of thing I want from my fantasy game. Something strictly lost in the fantasy, and I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is lost in that fantasy, and I'm excited to play. Tell me what your comments on this. Do you think Dragon's Dogma 2 is taking the middle ground on this overall social progressive political society now? I think so to a certain extent, but some of you may not agree with me. You leave your comments. Let me hear what you have to say. Like, share, and subscribe. This is Wagner Knows Why. Catch you next time.